Hello, and how you guys doing? This is very important in reference to Hollywood and the role protocol of my identity, which is in, you know, numerous films, TV shows, movies, and productions and information and newspapers and things like that. You know, in the historic film society and the Music Hall of Fame and things like that. And casting directors, like somebody was trying to say, I guess that the casting directors of some of the productions want to file charges against these people holding me hostage because there's been movies that have been written and scripts that have been written for me to star in certain films, and they can file hostage charges. You know, I didn't receive any of the scripts, didn't receive any of the information anybody has sent in the postal mail. You know, and, you know, somebody say, oh, when Hollywood comes knocking, you know, when Hollywood, you know. But I've been a Hollywood A-list celebrity since I was born. The role protocol even says that, too. So, you know, it's kind of very important, plus history of my family history. Even my grandparents and great-grandparents was in, you know, stage performances and movies and the silent film era and, you know, music and operas and instrument performances like, you know, piano and guitar and other types of musical instruments, even back in the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, even way back when. You know, and European history, even back in the days of Mozart and Beethoven and Chopin or some of the other history of musicians. And, you know, back in those days, my relatives was, you know, performing music and singing and operas and family history and performing arts and, you know, silent film era and, you know, then there was sound in movies and TV and stuff like that, you know, when that was in radio. So, you know, it's very important in reference to history, but, you know, casting directors and other celebrities can file charges against these government people holding me hostage, blocking me from my rights of being in the media, blocking me from being in film, these people damaging my face and teeth. That's disruptive and it causes problems for my rights. You know, being beautiful or being attractive is not a crime in America. I don't know what country you came from, but you don't have a right damaging my face or teeth. You can get put on trial for the death penalty, government man. See, these people damaged my father's face and teeth back when I was a little boy. These satellite controllers when they had been burning my father when I was little. And it is on record. And it is documented. And there's been restraining orders against all these people the whole time. We need the courts to open up those files. They need to make a website, you know, in reference to who I am and my information and who my parents are and grandparents. So people can have, you know, access to looking at that information whenever they have time or whenever they want to. Like a newsletter and a website that talks about specific information and history of who I am and who my parents are and who my grandparents and great-grandparents are. Reference to land ownership, companies, business, history, and, you know, entertainment website too, you know. Very important. And, you know, in reference to the FCC, they know that these people are not allowed to tamper with my information. These government people trying to steal my identity. The FCC is responsible for arresting people trying to steal my identity too. You know that, right? Very important. So, you know, in reference to casting directors and producers in Hollywood and the film industry that want me in movies, or, you know, they written scripts, or even my mother and father's production companies. These people are blocking me from everything. They're blocking me from offices. My own production offices of my mother and father's companies. These people are blocking me from everything. And they have to get charged for domestication crimes. These government people trying to play riches to rags hostage games. Like, have you seen the Richie Rich movie? Where Richie Rich, you know, and Mr. and Mrs. Rich, they were living their life. And then these business thieves and these security thieves, they sabotaged the airplane of Mr. and Mrs. Rich, and then they were holding Richie Rich hostage, and then they were blocking Richie Rich from the companies, blocking Richie Rich from the boardroom and things like that. Then the cops had to arrest some people in the Richie Rich movie. Look up the information. It's in the movie. There's a lot of information. It's filmed in the Royal Protocol, too, of My Identity. So, in reference to casting directors and celebrity females and organizations and, the Music Hall of Fame or the Film and Television Historic Society, they can file charges against these people, too. And the state of California, I don't know if you filed charges or if other cities and states have filed charges against Indiana for holding me hostage. They have to get charged for domestication crimes, too. These people trying to steal me from the rich lifestyle and wealthy lifestyle that I was born into. And then they tried to play Cinderella slavery shit. That's attempted murder. And the injuries. I had lifelong benefits from the injuries that I had from government trying to steal my mother and father's estates when I was a little boy. I was supposed to get lifelong benefits. The government's been stealing those benefits too. I have not received the life insurance policies of my parents. I haven't received any information in reference to my trust funds that both my parents had made for me. So, it's a lot of information that has to be publicly known, because there's a lot of people that know me. A lot of people that are interested in wondering why these people are so corrupt, why these people are stealing from me, why these people are abusing me. And all their accusations. And don't forget, reverse racism is a communist act. So you slandering my character with your reverse racism, because I have other friends and I'm not associated with you or who certain people are. Reverse racism is a communist act. And in reference to people trying to steal my mother and father's estates, that is communism too. I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates, no matter what anybody says, no matter what slander they ever say. And in reference to people slandering my parents and the endangerment of people slandering my parents, people accusating against my parents, and then people trying to steal everything from me, or people trying to murder me, people trying to injure me. That's public endangerment. That's private endangerment too. Reference to government agents trying to abuse me, government agents stalking me, government people stealing monies that I was supposed to receive in lawsuits. That's treason. In reference to the Treasury, we need the Treasury to put on record whether they have accounts that my parents had set up for me. I've not received any letters from the Treasury either. It's my information, my rights. Nobody has a right stealing it or intercepting information or money account information that I was supposed to have received. That's the facts of law. No matter what political communist or person makes up anything. And there's restraining orders against all the people that have slandered my character. And people making up accusations endangering me is their tricks. And then they're depriving me of being at my mother and father's mansions. They're depriving me of my rights. And then there are people was trying to slander the intellect of my parents. These people was trying to slander my intellect. No, it's lawsuits. Has to be court cases every freaking day, man. Every day. There needs to be lawsuits and court cases.